Peaceful greetings, love. I'm Bashea Imana, your sister, your holistic coach, and your companion on this journey of transformation. Karibu, and welcome to another episode of Morning Medicine. I am here to remind you that the healing you seek is not somewhere out there. It's already within you. My purpose is to help you uncover it, nurture it, and walk boldly in it. Today's medicine is healing, returning to wholeness. Before we begin, I invite you, as always, to slow down with me. This work is not about rushing through information. It is about embodiment. Each lesson is designed as medicine for your soul. And just like real medicine, it works best when taken consistently, one dose at a time. So I encourage you to listen to this lesson every morning, or at least 7 days before moving on. Let the words settle deeper into your spirit each time, because small steps, repeated with intention, lead to big transformation. Let's begin. Before we can talk about healing, we must talk about recognition, because most of us don't even know something's wrong. We don't even know we need to heal. We call it being busy. We call it life be lifing. We call it just tired, too blessed to be stressed, or doing what I gotta do. But beneath the surface, your spirit has been whispering, I can't keep doing life this way. Maybe you feel disconnected from yourself. Maybe you're moving, functioning, showing up, yet inside you feel flat, overwhelmed, drained. Maybe you've been carrying emotional pain for so long that you don't even call it pain anymore. You just call it you. Maybe you're always the strong one, the dependable one, the one who keeps everyone else together while quietly falling apart inside. Maybe you've accomplished more, achieved more, pushed harder, and still feel a quiet emptiness you can't explain. Many people think healing means something is broken. But in truth, healing begins the moment you notice you've gone numb to your own life. The moment you say, I've been surviving, not living. I've been coping, not healing. I've been functioning, but not flowing. If any of this resonates, there's nothing wrong with you. You are simply being called back to yourself. And that journey, that sacred return, that's what today's morning medicine is all about. So take a breath with me. Inhale and exhale. What does it mean to heal? To heal means to return to wholeness. The word heal comes from the Old English hal, meaning whole, complete, unbroken. Healing is not about fixing what's broken. It's about reconnecting to what is sacred, the truth of who you are beneath the stress, the trauma, and the expectations you've been carrying. It's about remembering what is already right. It's not about chasing perfection. It's about restoring connection to your body, your emotions, your truth, to your spirit. When we feel disconnected from our body, our emotions, our spirit, or our community, imbalance sets in. Our energy slows down, our creativity stalls, our joy becomes muted, and our true self gets buried beneath survival. We forget who we truly are. We forget our peace, our purpose, our power. But healing is that divine remembering. It's the sacred act of restoration, of calling all the parts of yourself home. So today, I invite you to ask gently, where have I forgotten who I am? In Ayurveda, true health is called svastha, which means to dwell in oneself. Health is not the absence of symptoms. It is the presence of alignment. You are made of all the elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And when they are balanced, you feel vibrant, calm, and alive. When they fall out of balance, your body begins to speak through tension, fatigue, inflammation, anxiety, or dis-ease. Healing is not about doing more. It's about listening more deeply to your breath, your body, your intuition, your spirit. Here's a truth we must name with love and with courage. Your body carries what your life has demanded of you. People are not sick because they're weak. Communities aren't struggling because they are flawed. Women are not breaking down because they can't handle the stress. So much of what we call illness is really the weight of oppression, the burden of survival, the strain of silence, the pressure of performing strength, the trauma of racism, sexism, injustice, and generational pain. Your nervous system is not failing you. It is responding to the world you've had to navigate. And certain communities experience higher rates of high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune disease, anxiety and depression, chronic inflammation, fibroids, migraines, fatigue, insomnia, heart disease. Not because it's genetic, predisposed, but because it's environmental, emotional, spiritual, and systemic reality. We smile at work. We feel anxious when shopping. We push through pain. We hold our tongues. We endure microaggressions. We carry families. We hustle for worthiness. We absorb stress like sponges. We survive environments not built with all of humanity in mind. And while the world may not see it, the body always does. The body keeps the score. The body tells the truth. The body remembers everything the mind tries to forget. Healing is not just personal. It is also political, ancestral, and communal. It is the way we reclaim power in a world that has tried to take it. It is the way we protect our lineage. It is the way we rewrite the story for everyone who comes after us. Ayurveda teaches that the deepest cause of illness is prajnapada, the crime against wisdom. It's what happens when we know what's right for us, but ignore it. when we push through fatigue, silence our emotions, or forget to rest. But this isn't a moral failure. It's a symptom of disconnection. We've been conditioned to keep going, even when our spirit says stop. In the last morning medicine, we were introduced to the ancient Kemetic story of Asar and Aset. This story mirrors a deep truth. When Asar was dismembered and scattered, Aset searched for each piece, reassembled him, and breathed life back into her beloved. That story is about all of us. We, too, have been scattered by trauma, oppression, emotional pain, and survival. And like Aset, our healing begins when we remember ourselves, piece by piece, breath by breath, prayer by prayer. Every act of self-care, every healthy boundary, every following your purpose, every truth you honor is a piece of yourself being brought back into wholeness. And healing is not a one-time event. It has to be a daily practice. And on this path, there are 5 key principles that guide us back into balance. Awareness, agency, alignment, authenticity, and acceptance. Awareness is the beginning of healing. All healing begins with awareness. The moment you notice something feels off, that your energy's low, that your peace is disturbed, your body feels tight, the breath becomes shallow, that's the doorway. Awareness is the medicine that brings light to what's been hidden. Once you see it, you can no longer pretend not to know. And that's the beginning of transformation. Ask yourself, where in my life do I feel disconnected or depleted, in a state of dis-ease? And once awareness comes, you must act. And so this is agency, taking responsibility for your healing. Agency is participation. It's saying, my healing is my responsibility. You must put yourself in the driver's seat of your health, your growth, and your restoration. No one else can drive this vehicle but you. Agency means stop waiting to be rescued and start tending to yourself with love, consistency, and care. It might look like therapy, walking, prayer, meditation, creating your holistic wellness team, or simply saying, I need rest. Every time you choose yourself, you send a message to your spirit. I am worthy of my own care. And then there's alignment. Alignment is the sacred self-loyalty. It means that your actions, your relationships, let me say that again, your actions, your relationships, and your choices reflect who you truly are. But alignment isn't always easy. Sometimes the ones closest to you are the very ones disturbing your peace. Sometimes their expectations no longer align with your purpose or path. And that's when alignment becomes an act of courage. It's learning to say no without guilt. It's choosing peace over pleasing. It's setting boundaries that protect your well-being even when others don't understand. Remember, and I can't say this enough, boundaries are not rejection. They are protection. They preserve the space where your healing can unfold. Peace is a responsibility. Alignment is an act of love. The fourth one is authenticity, living your truth. Authenticity is medicine for the nervous system. It's the freedom to show up as your full self, unmasked, unapologetic, unafraid. When you stop performing and start being, you stop leaking energy and start generating it. Wholeness requires honesty. When you tell yourself the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about how you feel, what you need, what you dream, you begin to come alive again. Ask yourself, what truth am I ready to honor, even if it changes everything? And then there's acceptance, the power of clarity. I have a friend that often says, clarity is kind. Acceptance is not giving up, it's seeing clearly. It's saying, this is what it is, and now I can act from truth. When you stop resisting reality, you release the tension that drains your energy. Acceptance doesn't mean you like what's happening. It means you're strong enough to face it and wise enough to move through it. I can't change the past, but I can choose peace in this moment. That's what you've got to say. I can't change the past, but I can choose peace in this very moment. Another important truth we have to speak about regarding healing is avoidance. Avoidance is one of the greatest barriers to healing. It's not the stress that breaks us. It's not even the trauma wound itself. It's the ways we turn away from what hurts, the ways we bury, numb, deny, or distract ourselves from what needs attention. Again, in Ayurveda, it's called the crime against wisdom. Life doesn't shrink us. Our refusal to face life does. When we run from what we feel, our world gets smaller. Our spirit contracts. And the very medicine we need, truth, awareness, change, never gets to flow through. Avoidance can look like busyness, perfectionism, overhelping, scrolling, performing, or pretending we're fine. But beneath all that noise is fear. Fear of what might surface if we stop. Yet healing can only happen through presence, not avoidance. Avoidance keeps us bound to the wound. When you build your identity around your pain, everything you hear is filtered through it. It becomes hard to receive love, correction, or growth because every word touches a bruise you've been protecting. We overreact, but undercorrect. We react to discomfort, to pain, but we rarely shift the pattern that created it. True healing requires the courage to face what's been avoided, not to relive it, but to release it. Because what you don't face, you repeat. And what you resist, persists. Sometimes, healing looks like a gentle recalibration, adjusting your course with intention and grace. It looks like small course corrections that bring you back into alignment. It looks like spiritual stretching, leaning into what once scared you, until fear loosens its grip and freedom returns. So today, ask yourself softly, what am I avoiding that's quietly asking to be healed? Or maybe it's asking loudly. Because every time you face what you once avoided, you reclaim another piece of your power. You become more whole and you rise. Let's talk about women for a moment. Women who often carry the weight of families, communities, and entire histories in our body. I like to follow a brilliant doctor and scholar, Dr. Gabor Mate. And he's often said women are often the shock absorbers of a family's pain. And many of us, we know this to be true in our bones. We hold the tears no one sees. We swallow words to keep the peace. We carry the expectations of generations while being told to smile, to cope, to stay strong. So healing for us is not just personal. It is familial, ancestral, systemic, and deeply spiritual. We inherit stress patterns. We inherit silence. We inherit survival strategies that kept our people alive, but that now keep us exhausted. And because we have been relied upon to hold so much, our bodies often become the place where unspoken pain gathers. This is why so many of us live with inflammation, hormonal imbalances, anxiety, weight gain, fibroids, autoimmune conditions, insomnia, migraines, and chronic fatigue. Not because our bodies are weak or broken, but because they've been overburdened. Our bodies keep the score. Our nervous systems carry the story. And healing asks us to read that story with compassion, not judgment. But now, beloved, it is time to heal differently. Not through pushing, but through presence. Not through striving, but through softness. Not through strength alone, but through surrender and self-love. Healing for us is reclamation. It is remembering that our bodies are sacred, that our emotions are intelligent, that our joy, laughter, and pleasure are medicine. It is remembering that we were never meant to live in constant survival mode, that thriving is our birthright. And so for everyone, how do we heal? We return to balance, elementally, energetically, and spiritually. As an Ayurvedic practitioner, I teach that healing is balancing the 5 elements within us: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These elements don't just exist in nature. They exist in your body, your mind, and your spirit. When they are balanced, you feel whole. When they are imbalanced, illness, physical, emotional, or spiritual, begin to surface. And this connects directly to the clearing morning medicine session from a few weeks ago. Because healing always begins with clearing. Clearing the mind, air, the heart, water, the spirit, fire, the body, earth. Let's bring that wisdom forward. Earth grounds you. When earth within you is depleted, you feel scattered, unsafe, unsupported. Healing the earth element looks like rest, nourishment, stillness, and boundaries that protect your energy. Water allows you to feel and flow. When water is stagnant, emotions collect like heavy pools in the body. Healing water means allowing emotions to move, honoring your tears, expressing truth. Air brings clarity and breath. When air is disturbed, thoughts become chaotic, anxious, or overwhelming. Healing air means practicing breath work, clearing mental clutter, softening your self-talk. Fire? Well, fire brings transformation and purpose. When fire is imbalanced, you burn out, overwhelmed, inflamed, irritable, exhausted. Healing fire means slowing down, choosing peace, and acting without force. And when these elements return to harmony, you return to a beautiful, unstagnated flow of Umoya, the divine spirit, the breath of creation that moves through all things. No chi, no ka, no ashe is blocked. This is how you move from fragmentation back to wholeness, from survival back to spirit, from force back to flow. Take a deep breath in. Now exhale. Place your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your belly. Feel the rhythm of your own life force. Again, breathing deeply, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Now repeat after me. I am remembering who I am. I am healing. I move in alignment with spirit. I am whole. This is your morning medicine. Take it with you gently. And remember, healing isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. Our weekly intention. I honor the sacred process of healing. I listen to the wisdom of my body, the truth of my spirit, and the rhythm of my breath. Each day, I gather my scattered pieces and return to wholeness. Thank you for showing up for yourself, taking a moment to slow down, and getting your dose of morning medicine. I'll see you tomorrow. And be sure to tune into the accompanying morning medicine meditation. Again, I'm Bashea Imana with you. Moya well. Make it a fantastic day. Ngibona amathafa elubomvu ayashlu